Okay, so 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What's up, everybody? How you doing? It's another episode of a Shot Georgia Peach production, and as you know, we like to say, just in case. Yes, that's right. Just in case you didn't know, I got my fam with me. Yes, I got my girl Mickey from the DC. We got some stuff to talk about with Mickey because we don't even know how long we gonna have Mickey. What? Yes, Mickey trying to play invisible on us, but we're not playing that. But before she brings us any of that information, of course, I got to introduce my roadie, my homeboy, my cuz, all the KEV notorious to me. Hey, Kev from the shop, what's going on with you?
Hey, what's going on with you, Dana? How's everyone out there in the listening and doing? And also, yes, what's going on with your girl Mickey? What's up, Michelle?
Hey, everybody. How's everybody doing? Great to be back. You guys didn't think I was actually going to leave without at least saying one final goodbye, right?
Exactly.
So, what's going on pretty much is, first of all, I want to thank all our listeners, and I want to say thank you especially to anybody who has a chance to listen to some of my solo podcasts on here. And, I had talked about moving to the DC area and pursuing some other projects and production and, getting back into my writing. So that's kind of taken time away from the podcast. So that's why I've been a little bit absent. And, I'm kind of going to be a little bit absent, from here on out. But, once in a while I will drop in because believe me, if anything crazy pops off in the news and I need to get something off my chest, guess where I'm going to be?
Well, honey, she's going to be right back on the podcast because just in case you didn't hear it anywhere else.
That's another job within this country, though,
It is.
Yes, because I get man my time. God dog,
Oh, is that right?
Well, as usual, I don't know. I don't know. But that's all right. That's all cool. Maybe if I play my cards right and if they play their cards right, I might have me a good Boston. What? You know how we talk in spades. Well, let's go ahead and get this show started before Kev give his point on that. I heard it coming. Well, first of all, we want to thank you very much for tuning in. And of course, the show, I always say that it is our intent, my intent is definitely to always make sure that we give you a show, whether it's one person listening or 1,000 or the whole world, because I believe in providing the best to the best. And since you're listening to me, that makes you the best. Hey, so today we do have a few things to cover. I did want to touch on the young lady because, of course, with COVID being in the news, a lot of news is falling to the wayside and not really being talked about. I mean, we also know about the Aubrey, the young man here in Georgia, was out jogging, and because these two vigilantes or call themselves doing a citizen's arrest, which I don't understand why you need a tow truck, why you need a truck and a shotgun to do it. But they did approach him because they said they saw him coming out of a house that was being built under construction, which I don't know how many times I haven't walked into a house under construction because you're nosy. You want to see how is it being built, especially if it's a different design from the house that you live in that area.
And he wasn't the only one that was spotted going through that home.
Not
also, they
at
have
all.
Several other people also on video.
Exactly.
Going in and out of that home.
Exactly. So yes, with that being said, so now he has an attorney, and they have an attorney because their attorney now is trying to say, they didn't do that, they didn't shoot him, they didn't attack him, so anyway, all of that is just to say, let's see what happens. So of course
exactly. They had the same attorney that Trayvon Martin family obtained, didn't they?
Oh no! Well,
Is he the
well,
same one?
Aubrey family, the young man that was killed,
Yeah, they
he does,
changed the
yes,
one attorney from
right,
Trayvon Martin.
right,
I can't
and
remember that brother's name.
I can't either. You got it, Michelle. But I will say this: the McMichaels, they have an attorney, and of course, let's not fret, everyone. Let's not get tripped out on it. Everybody deserves a defense. Everybody deserves an attorney. So just because they have an attorney, that does not mean that they're going to get off, or anyone is going to find them not guilty. They have to have someone to defend them, even if they're wrong. Okay,
But it took 2 months for them to even be brought up on charges to be brought up on him.
yeah, that was crazy. That was crazy.
Police officer, he's affiliated with the law down there.
Mm-hmm.
He's buddies with
So,
the PD or something.
So to me, I think that, well, I understand that they're asking those two, the DA and the judge or the chief, to remove themselves from their position, to resign, because you didn't do your job as you're supposed to do. You did not, you didn't have them arrested. You didn't investigate it. You took their word simply because he used to be an officer. And this is the problem. Just because you're a cop does not mean that you're not human. Everybody makes an error. Anybody can do wrong. Your badge doesn't protect you. It should only represent that you're willing to do the job that you signed up for. That's what the badge is for, people, okay? But now I want to move on over, because we know what's going on in Georgia. But what I didn't know until I read it in the Black Enterprise, and I saw it in Yahoo News, about the young lady who lives in Kentucky. And the police were looking for this young man who was, they said, is a known drug dealer, and they said that he was stashing drugs, like he had a drug house in the complex where she lived, and they thought it was her apartment, but come to find out, so in Kentucky, they do not have a knock and a warrant. They don't need a warrant if they suspect drugs. So they didn't even have to knock.
Come out and bum rush a house.
They can bum rush a house and just go right at it, right? So and that's what they did when they kicked in the door. Maybe when the boyfriend heard some, because the young lady was living with, well, I don't know if they were living together, but she was in the apartment. She was asleep, and the boyfriend was there, and he heard commotion or noise outside the apartment. And when he heard them kick in, he grabbed his gun like any red-blooded American who totes a gun does. He grabbed his gun and he shot. And when he shot, then they started shooting at him. But they're also trying to, his defense is saying he had the right to shoot because he thought somebody was breaking into his house and he was protecting himself. But anyway, in the shootout, the girlfriend, the young lady, was killed in her bed.
Pitiful. And you know, by the law, they can actually, if they find themselves in the right, they can charge that boy with that murder.
Well, the only thing is that because they found that the young man they were looking for had no relations to that apartment, they had the wrong one. They had the wrong one. So that is most likely going to, well, we got to see how that pans, because we already know.
You're talking about some people's jobs. Who are these people that always get the addresses wrong?
Oh, that's what I'm talking about.
Information from snitches and stuff like this, and then they end up going to the wrong home.
Right.
Because a lot of them got these people that turn state's evidence on other folks, and they give up information.
They do.
They send the police out there, and they be bogus.
But it is so important that you double check that information, because when you don't, it begins to seem like, you're not doing your job.
Exactly. You're not doing no good surveillance because obviously you getting information from a third party or something.
Exactly.
Because
Exactly.
getting this information up firsthand, there's no room for mistakes.
There's no room for mistakes, and that cannot be. I
You
also.
got an innocent life that was taken in the process.
But you know what?
Completely innocent.
If that is not the story of America, how many innocent lives of colored people of color, have been taken by accident, or it was an error, it was a mistake. And until we start making sure that these people are paying, getting paying consequences, it's probably going to be ongoing. Now, I will say this, speaking of that incident as well. Oh shoot! I'm sorry, y'all. I lost it just that quick. But yeah, those incidents, they are reportedly just constantly seeming to happen, and nothing really justice. So I want to see how this thing does turn out. Just to go step back on the Arbery case here in Georgia, because one thing about Georgia is good for making examples, and I got a feeling that this is going to be a decent outcome for these men.
I mean, the court system seems like it's getting a little funky due to this corona mess. They don't really want to hold trials. Now they letting certain individuals out of jail because of this coronavirus. Seems like all the Trump pals and everybody's being pardoned or whatever, let release,
Right.
So, I mean, it seems like everyone in the judicial system now, it seems like...
I don't want to blame...
Like a chess game. You put your people in place and...
Right.
It is now. They can make their decisions.
Well, I don't want to put it on COVID in that case, because if that's the case, this is just... the justice system has been the way it has been for people of color. This is what I wanted to say quickly on that, because I'm noticing that a lot of Asians are complaining about their experience now of being attacked, because people are
discriminated against because of this corona.
Isn't that something?
That this come from Wuhan, China, and
right,
Chinese folks.
Right. And I feel for them. Come on.
What happened when in 1918?
Come on.
The Spanish?
Come on. Well, I mean, that's the whole
that situation.
Right.
Yeah, sure did.
So we live in a country that discriminates, period. But here's what I want to hit on quickly, and that is for the Asian Americans. If you know one, if you have one to listen to this, if you can get them hooked up, let me tell you something. I'm gonna ask that you put your chest on, put your big panties on, and keep it moving. Stand firm, because you have to understand that I know that everybody that's non-black of African descent wants to be recognized as white America. You're not. We are all people of color, whether you are African descent, Asian descent, Hispanic descent. If you are not European descent, then you are a person of color. And
this wasn't a wake-up call.
Come on now.
This wasn't a wake-up call, then I don't know what is. I mean, that should let them know that you guys are not white. You really are not.
You are not white.
They're really mad at you right now.
Right.
Really mad at you.
And if you listen to their stance, their belief, which I was listening to Charles Barkley and another brother, they had an interview with the guy who was the leader of the alt-right, and they're in the alt-right, they're not the right, they're like, we're the alternative, where they truly believe, they say, we believe in, we believe that Asians should be where Asians are, Indians should be where Indians are, and Africans should be where Africans are, and we just want our own world. This is the world. This nation is for white people. And I'm trying to understand, why is it when they're talking to somebody, someone doesn't open up their mouth and say to these idiots, dumb, and I'm getting ready to say this, hold your tears, hold your ears if you can, dumbass. This is not no white America. You belong in Europe. Everybody come from somewhere different except for Native Americans. So stop sitting up here claiming, because if it belongs to anybody other than the Native Americans, it belongs to the African Americans who freaking built this country.
Yeah.
So you don't own anything. Only thing that you have is what you stole and what you took. So don't sit up here and claim, oh, this belongs to us. This don't belong to you. If you want your own, go back to Europe. And then you can kick people out. You don't want Africans over there. You don't want Jamaicans. Kick us out of there. But don't come over here